Day. But we begin in Egypt, where President Biden is attending the UN Climate Summit.
During his speech earlier today, he pledged that the U.S. will do more in the fight against climate change and called on all countries to do the same.
To permanently bend the emissions curve, every nation needs to step up. At this gathering, we must renew and raise our climate ambitions. The United States is acting. Everyone has to act. It's a duty and responsibility of global leadership. Countries that are in a position to help should be supporting developing countries so they can make decisive climate decisions.
President Biden went on to tout America's new climate initiatives. He also apologized for the previous administration's decision to leave the Paris Climate Agreement, saying it was a move that never should have happened. Joining us with more from Egypt is CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio. Hi there, Ramy. So how was President Biden's speech received?
Sure. Well, over the roughly 22 minutes that President Biden spoke here in the plenary hall, the main plenary hall here at COP27, it started out with some polite applause. Then as he continued on, he got some whoops from the audience. And then by the end, there were definitely cheers and probably some of the biggest applause lines that he had over the whole entire time of his address. And as you were talking about, he basically charted a victory lap over the past few years of his administration. The first thing he talked about was rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, taking a jab at former President Trump, saying, I don't know why we left in the first place. But one of the biggest applauses he got was when he touted his signature climate legislation that he just signed in the middle of August, which basically committed $375 billion to new American climate projects. Massive, massive applause there. And then another line of applause he got was when he said that the U.S., quote, will meet our emissions targets by 2030. You know, every time we see COP come up, people are wondering if the can will be kicked down the road. People like to see definitive commitment and leadership. And in that line, a lot of people were saying the America that we like, the America that is a leader in climate action, is here in front of us right now.
It's really interesting, Ramy. And so then looking ahead, with President Biden planning to meet with Chinese Premier Xi Jinping on Monday at the G20 summit in Indonesia, what is our best expectation of what may come from that meeting, given the rising tensions between the two countries and the fact that Biden's party here in the U.S., the Democrats, have just performed better than expected, in part because of his policy positions?
Yeah, exactly. So the two top issues for the U.S. and China will likely be Taiwan, and it will be about trade. So over the past several months, Taiwan has become an even bigger flashpoint, in part because of what's happened with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi when she went to Taiwan. China then decided to engage in the Taiwan Strait, sending many sorties of flights into the strait to try to push back against U.S. influence and against Taiwan democracy movements there. So that will be something that President Biden and President Xi will talk about in terms of red lines. President Biden did say this already early this week, that they want to figure out where there are lines of agreement and where there are lines of conflict, and to hopefully figure out how to make sure that that conflict doesn't turn into escalation or even war. On the trade front, there have been basically freeze-outs of Chinese exports, in particular semiconductors. The U.S. is trying to make its own semiconductor manufacturing self-sufficient so it doesn't have to rely on China, and so that has hurt Chinese manufacturing there. But Chinese President Xi is going to try to perhaps reopen those lines of trade in order to support his flagging economy.
All right, Ramy Inocencio reporting for us from Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. Thank you.